Hi, I'm Stu from Hive Mind Automation and welcome to the Hive. In this quick tips video, we'll be taking a look at setting up a separate camera and button in Home Assistant to show up as a smart doorbell in HomeKit, so that when the doorbell is pressed, our HomePod will make a doorbell sound and our Apple TV will show us a preview of the doorbell camera. And I'm going to try and get this done in less than 10 minutes. So while I roll the intro, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos each week, and let's get started. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I'm quite a fan of the Ubiquiti Unify range of cameras. I'm also a fan of Apple products and also inexpensive accessories for our smart home like Xiaomi Aqara sensors and buttons. Sometimes though, this can present a challenge when trying to integrate one into the other. When Apple introduced iOS 14 last year, one of the HomeKit features that I was most interested in was to have your doorbell trigger a picture-in-picture display on your Apple TV of a front door camera or doorbell when the doorbell gets rung. Now, Apple's implementation of this obviously requires a HomeKit certified accessory, and they can be a little bit pricey. However, using some advanced configuration in Home Assistant, I can in fact set this up with the accessories that I already have, so I don't have to replace any accessories to achieve my goal. Now, for the record, at the front door, I have a Ubiquiti Unify G3 bullet camera above the front door and a Xiaomi button as the doorbell. Ubiquiti do have the G4 doorbell, and I have been tempted to get one of these units. However, I'm probably not going to now, since I've discovered this solution. It does involve setting up a separate HomeKit integration for Home Assistant, and instead of using the UI for this, we're going to need to configure it using some YAML, because there's going to be some properties that we need to define. So on my laptop here, we're already in Home Assistant, and we're going to go into our Visual Studio Code, and we're going to take a look at the configuration.yaml file. Now, for the record, I'm doing all of this in my production instance, and that is purely because it's going to be a lot easier for me to then demonstrate the HomeKit integration side of things without having to set up a separate Apple ID. So also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a separate YAML file to keep things organized. And to do that, I'm just going to put in a couple of extra rows here, and I'm going to put in the key HomeKit, and then we're going to go bang include and HomeKit.YAML. Now, in using these includes, I have noticed in some circumstances that I've had trouble using secrets inside those broken out configs. So you might want to add your HomeKit configuration directly to your configuration.yaml file if you're going to be popping secrets in there like alarm codes. Your mileage may vary. So I've added this include HomeKit.yaml, and I've actually already created the HomeKit.yaml file off camera, and here it is. So let's take a look at how I've made this. So it's pretty basic. We are using an array to begin with, and if we wanted to have a second HomeKit configuration in here, we could also put in rear cameras, for example, and that's just so that we can help identify the unit here. So we've got a name, and then we are filtering the entities that we want in this HomeKit integration, because I really only want two entities. I'm including the front door camera and the front driveway camera. What is doing things is this entity config section, and when we inside the entity config section, this camera front door section is the important part. So the support audio true, I've just put that there so that we can actually receive audio from the camera. It does enable two-way audio from the HomeKit app. However, this particular camera is not going to support that, so it's worth making sure that you're aware of that, because there's no speaker on the camera. The most important thing here for the camera is this linked doorbell sensor, and we're pointing that to our binary sensor dot button, which is the Xiaomi button at the front door. And then we're just adding audio support to the driveway camera. So we've got our HomeKit.yaml file created again, as I say, if we wanted to, we could create a second HomeKit integration here, but we don't need to in this instance. I'm just going to save that file. I'm going to head back to configuration and I'm going to go to server controls and we're going to check the configuration. Because we've made changes to the configuration.yaml file, we're also then going to need to restart our Home Assistant core so long as we get the green configuration valid. So I'll do that and we'll be back in a second to check out the integration. Okay, great. So now that Home Assistant core has restarted, I need to add the new HomeKit bridge into my HomeKit setup. So on my iPhone here, I'm going to tap the plus button in the top left, tap Add Accessory, and on the Home Assistant dashboard, I'll tap Notifications and then scan the QR code with my iPhone, and we'll tap Add to Home. Add anyway, and we're trying to connect to the bridge, and it has disappeared from our notifications, and we now get to choose where the bridge is. And I'm going to put this one in the front yard and tap continue. And I'm just going to remove the hex there at the end and just tap continue, and it's bridge added to our home. So we'll hit continue. So we've got a driveway camera, we'll tap continue, and that is in the front yard. Continue. We'll just continue, we won't create that automation. Continue, and front door programmable switch is connected to the front cameras. We'll hit continue, done. Okay, so now we should have the cameras added. So if I go to rooms, we're on the front yard and we scroll down all the way to the bottom, we've got the cameras there and they are coming back up. So now all that is left to do is test out the integration to make sure that the camera displays when we press the doorbell. So I'm going to pause the video there. I'm going to then point the camera at the television over there with the Apple TV on, and then we're going to test out the integration. In a wall. Now this video will just be an overview of the HA switch plate, and there will be a separate video about the build process for HA switch plate. What we will discuss is the cost to build it. We'll take a look at some of its functions and we'll show you how to get it set up in our demo instance of Home Assistant here. So while I roll the intro, take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos each week. And let's get started. So there you have it. The Apple TV added a preview of the front door camera, and we were able to then also take that preview full screen to hear the audio from the front door camera as well. It's worth noting that the audio does get a little bit choppy as it's being transcoded on the fly, and I feel like we're pushing the poor little Raspberry Pi a little bit hard, making it do that work. Additionally, I also received a push notification on my phone that then showed me a snapshot of who was at the door as well in that push notification. So I can now see who's at the door if they ring the doorbell while we're watching TV. That's all we have for this video, and I do hope that it helped you in your home automation journey. Be sure to comment down below with a home automation idea that you'd like to see me cover in a future video. Don't forget to follow HiveMind Automation on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Those links are in the video description down below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below and give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing now. While you're at it, hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos each week. And lastly, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. And contributions through Buy Me a Coffee are put towards making more and better content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.